Right. It's in the schedule. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's Emotion Rank Day! Hello and welcome, I'm Liam, Music Reviewer, and today we're going to tinker with a spin-off on our usual rank series. Instead of doing albums and artist discographies, we're going to just be looking at a specific album by a specific artist and just kind of like rank them from worst to best, or in this case for today's episode, just from my least favourite songs to just my favourite ones, because Carly Rae Jepsen 2015, well, I say magnum opus because she has a new album coming out soon and maybe she'll top it then, but definitely a favourite of mine, we'll put it at that. But yeah, this is one, really every track, even with the deluxe edition that we're talking about today, I still like. Even if it's my least favourite, there's still something I like about them, so I never really feel like I could put like a worse title on it. Maybe weakest would be more accurate, but yeah, hopefully you guys will like this kind of spin-off thing. It'll be more fun to talk about artists whose discographies aren't as like concrete or aren't as like heavily discussed. And yeah, there's like a lot of albums that I've got in mind to do this sort of series with, so you guys like this, just let me know if there are any recommendations or suggestions for albums you want me to do. Let me know that as well. But yeah, let's get started, and we'll start from the bottom, work our way to the top, and yeah, let's go.
I didn't just come here to dance, if you know what I mean. Do you know what I mean?
One of the more prototypical tracks on Emotion, I didn't just come here to dance. Yeah, you could definitely like imagine this being played like a pub or a club with sort of like disco-y synths and beats, like really like tapping into that sort of feeling, but the sort of like modulated vocals at the chorus, I don't know if sometimes I find it great and I just want to like dance David Rose style to them. Other times I just find them a little bit underwhelming and sort of like unnecessary, but yeah, just that, and that the production is fine, and Carly being so upfront about this whole going out on a night out with her friends, but with the whole prospect of pulling, verb, British slang for making out with someone, usually at a club and often with a complete stranger. I like how she's just kind of upfront about it, isn't trying to like make it into some like hugely like romantic thing. It's just sort of, yeah, it's just sort of like down to earth, so like I kind of like it in that sort of regard. Definitely not a bad track, but like as far as I'm concerned, isn't one that I usually come back to all that much, which makes it probably like my least favourite of the bunch.
Hold on now, this is getting kinda serious. This is getting kinda out.
Another song that, for being one of the weakest tracks on Emotion, still does some things pretty well. I think the gang vocals at the end could maybe be seen as being a bit cliched, but I do think it gives it a sort of like ethereal feeling to go off on, and like a Carly Rae Jepsen ballad, not a lot of people are going to really complain about that. Definitely tries to like channel, to be fair, the whole album tries to channel a synth pop vibe, but here it feels the most sort of like kind of like Churches-esque, which are going to make people full of rage or full of love. You guys can decide that for yourselves. But yeah, I think the inclusion of having these like vocals at the chorus are starting to like kind of like mix in to the one, and that's pretty smart considering what the chorus is addressing. It's a pretty sweet conclusion to the album as a whole. It's a deluxe edition of it, but in terms of how maybe compared to like maybe how the B-side finishes off, like maybe it's a bit underwhelming in that regard, but definitely not a track that's got nothing to offer. Like there's definitely some bits that you can take away from it. There's not really much I can say about this song in question, really because of how regressive it sounds. It's still trying to fit into that whole like synth pop DNA that a lot of Emotion does have, but it also feels like it could like really fit into like Carly Rae Jepsen's album before this, which was Kiss, the whole like sort of like a lot of like beeps and boops and all that. Like it just feels like something that could have been released in the noughties and would have done like really well, which is a shame that this single or song didn't get like released widely, because maybe it would have tapped into that nostalgia. So yeah, I kind of like it for that sort of thing, because this is like a really 80s heavy album. I didn't grow up in the 80s, but with this song, like, yeah, I can kind of feel like I could hear this on like a Now That's What I Call Music sort of album, like at the tail end of like CD2 or something like that. So yeah, not really like pushing Carly all that much, but it's not again, not a bad song. I don't really think there is one on here. It just definitely feels like that it doesn't do all that much. Right, this one might be a bit of a hot take, and I can really see why people love it a lot more than I do, and to be fair, I do like it a great deal. Dev Hynes of Blood Orange fame produced on this. You can 100% tell that the bass on here just sounds so delicate and sensual and just like utterly delicious. It really is one of the strongest points on here, and that's not to say that Carly doesn't sound great. She also just sounds like pretty much matches the bass on here. She isn't like really like forcing herself too much. It does feel utterly natural. I don't really know what it is that like stops it being any higher up for me. Maybe it's just I've overplayed it a lot, because it was at a point this was one of my favourite tracks on it, so it could very well just be the fact that I've listened to it too much. It doesn't have the same impact on me. I don't know what else it could maybe be, like maybe how it kind of like, it does seem like sort of like a song you can imagine from like an 80s rom-com with that whole cheesiness and that, where like the couple like finally fall in love and just everything slows down and that. Not really the song's fault for doing that, but like it's just what my brain thinks of, so maybe that's why I don't see it as highly as the other ones. But I do think that out of this album production, this is probably where it's the strongest. It's a shame that maybe like it's by my own fault. Can't blame anyone but myself here. Personally, I feel this is pretty overlooked or underrated or both. I don't really know why. Maybe I think it's one of the bonus tracks. I can't remember for sure. But I just find this just a great wee song. Production wise, yeah, it kind of like I keep saying tapped in, but it kind of like it goes for like a lot of the same things that the rest of the album has done. So yeah, it isn't really like all that different, but I just find the chorus just so nice, especially with the whole thing that Carly's trying to go for here. It does feel like a really like great breakup song, even though like if you think of it like that, it's so upbeat. But you can just, there's a lot of feistiness, a lot of independence, just a lot of confidence radiating from this song. So yeah, definitely one that I think deserves a bit more love. I don't like seeing it getting thrown under the bus all that much. While it's one of the lower ranking original tracks, Making the Most of the Night, I think does a lot of things quite well. It's one of two Sia written tracks or co-written tracks, and you can absolutely tell just like how it all builds up to the chorus and that. Like it's usually quite minimalist in the verses, usually some sort of like glitzy production, and then just builds up to just this huge payoff that, yeah, it's especially with how Carly's singing along with it, like you can tell she's trying to give it her all as well, so it does feel really satisfying in that regard. Like I say, there's like glitzy production in the verses and sort of like predatory drums as well that make it feel like some sort of like some sort of like romantic war going on, I guess you could say that much. Yeah, maybe it's a bit kind of like by the numbers, at least lyrically, because it doesn't really add much to what a lot of these songs do in terms of like just talking about romance in general. But I do think that in terms of like its style as opposed to its substance, it does remarkably well.
I used to be in love with you.
A track that could have very well become a sort of like MRA friendzone incel anthem if it was handled with less care. This just sees Carly collaborate with another big name producer, specifically Rami, who's responsible for that Britney Spears song. And yeah, in terms of production, he doesn't really rock in the boat or breaking any boundaries or that. It's a solid but not stellar production. But I find what Carly's doing here, she's at her most fragile. She's like, yeah, just our lowest, and especially during that chorus, like it does give it that sort of oomph. So it just like kind of does pull at your heartstrings, which is something that no producer can help you with. You need to have that sort of emotion, and yeah, Like, it's, if you gave this to any other singer, I don't know how much they would have went for it, but it does really match what Carly is capable of and so good at doing. Funny that Tom Hanks acted for decades, won an Oscar just so Carly Rae Jepsen would consider him for the lead role in this song's music video. Just really beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, I think maybe if I did this video a year ago, this track would be a bit higher, but admittedly, I've played this song far too much, and I think for a lot of people they find some bits of it sort of annoying. Maybe they find some things being a bit too by the numbers, but I don't feel like that at all. I think there's some like really infectious keys and percussion going on here, and just how it feels sort of like melodramatic, but for its benefit. Like, it's not some it's that sort of like awkward moment where like you really do feel like you love someone, but you don't want to like push it too much. It's sort of a moment that isn't really talked about all that much, at least not to my knowledge anyway, and just how everything's kind of like composed and produced on here does make it feel like kind of really special in that. And yeah, I just, whenever I hear it, whenever I think about it, I just find it just so catchy. Like, I'm pretty sure once I played the title card there for it, you probably were humming along to it, or just kind of like clicking your fingers along with it, because yeah, it's for a lot of these songs on here, just as soon as you hear them, like, it's very hard to like get rid of just how they dig in to you. But yeah, maybe I played it a bit too much, which is a shame because it's a pretty good song, and I think of all the singles, it might have done the best. But it's a shame that it wasn't enough to like make it like a really like commercially successful album. Though maybe in the long run, like, it's probably done a bit better. That's like a different story in general. But yeah, for I Really Like You, good song. Wish I hadn't played it to death. BuzzFeed, Buzzers and TMZ Crows, like, that is such, like, the first time I heard that, it felt so iconic. But yeah, this one is one that I think gets thrown under the bus a lot, and I'm not really sure why. Maybe to be fair, I didn't really get into this song as much when I first heard it, but like, I've listened to Emotion a lot of times, and every time I feel like I like this song a lot more. I don't think production wise it's as polished, but I feel like that's exactly the point. Like, I feel like the sort of like the synth beats are a bit more sort of I don't know, maybe off kilter a little bit, but to its benefit, because of how it's just definitely one of the more interesting cuts for me, at least lyrically, with how Carly's talking about this relationship that's doing like really well, talking about kind of like the sort of fragility of it, and then like she brings in the whole kind of like one-sided relationship with the media, and that I think that's all quite smart. And then when it gets to like the sort of outro, and she just like finally just like, won't you let me go, and then just, oh, the power behind those words, like, just has me shooketh. My queen has slayed me and spilled the tea. Is that what I meant to say? Is that the stand terminology? Did I use it all right there? But yeah, definitely a song that deserves more love. So please shower it in more love. Also, when the BuzzFeed Buzzers and TMZ Crows line comes back over, when in that aforementioned like really like powerful sort of like bit at the bridge where she just kind of like, she's just done with it, and when it's all layered over, oh. So for this song, Carly went for like a smaller name, or at least in terms of big name pop producers, it's definitely a lot smaller, and that's Rostam from Vampire Weekend. And if you've listened to any of his stuff, or even just kind of know what Vampire Weekend were doing in general, definitely is, you can kind of feel that a lot. There's something sort of sinister about how this track's produced, as if like at any moment it's just going to kind of like break into like some sort of like some experimental pop chorus, which I'm glad that it doesn't, because it would feel tonally like really deaf or blind, whatever one I meant to use for that. While it might not have like the strongest like vocal deliveries here, not to say that they're bad, but like they've not got kind of like the unfiltered energy that some of the songs on here do have in bucket loads. I do think that the job that Rostam did here, like I think Carly like really embraces it as a lot more sort of like playful over it. It's just she kind of just like explores like ever expanding soundscape, and then when it gets to that chorus, oh, it's just it pays off so well. It's hard to like put into words because I just know that it sounds great to my ears, and when you're trying to like translate that to like video and talk to somebody, it's pretty difficult. And I looking at my notes here, I didn't really do a good job of trying to word it to myself here, but yeah, I think the whole kind of like the chorus, maybe like how it feels a lot bleaker, like talking about like warm blood and all that. Like it's just definitely trying to like talk about love in this sort of not as positive a light as the rest of the album does, but I feel like that just gives it like a further sort of layer. Like it's not all so cutesy and that, like it definitely can kind of tinker with some, I don't say dark, but like definitely not as conventionally romantic, so to speak. So yeah, that got us to number 6. So now we're gonna get into the top 5, baby. Here's one that just gets by on being so damn cute. Some highlights on just this track in general include that sort of barbershop quartet bit with the you could be the one. Yeah, that bit I can't sing, so I'm not even gonna try and attempt that. But I love that bit. It's just it just feels like, again, like in the opposite sense that like what song was I talking about? All that feels like it'd be in a rom-com film from the 80s. This one feels like it could be like, yeah, it could be like in a current day one, but I don't think that's like any sort of like, it's not negative at all. It just kind of like, it kind of just manages to capture that feeling of like young love, just never wanting things to end, just the honeymoon period. And oh my god, that saxophone that just starts like, it creeps in throughout the song, and then it just, by the end, by the final third of this song, it just steals the show. It's just, it's so nice. I really just want to like get my phone just now and listen to that bit just now, because the way this album uses saxophones if there's only one in existence. Yeah, it's just a really nice song that just manages to like capture a really cute period in our relationship, and while the rest of the album does sort of maybe talk about relationships in more of a negative tone, and that it's still really nice. It's really wholesome, let's just call it that. This is one of the more wholesome songs on here. I like it a whole lot.
Be tormented by me, babe. Wonder how I do. How's the weather? Am I better now that there's no you?
And the fact that Carly Rae Jepsen was able to make this sugary sweet pop cut about somebody that's just had their ex broken up with them or break up with them is it's pretty damn cool. Just because I feel like there's a lot of songs on here that are going to be like great, like if you've broken up with somebody, these are going to be great tracks for you. I love the guitars and the beat during the verses, and then just how well mixed in they are when it gets to the chorus, and just how much fun it sounds like Carly's having. Like I feel like to her, like she wasn't so much caring about how well this album was going to do. She just wanted to like know that she was going to be proud of it, and you can tell just like with how she like pushes some of these words, especially with like the fantasy, that bit, like, and she's pushing it with far more energy than I did. It's great. Just the chorus, one of my favourites in this entire record. Just like if you've found yourself in some sort of like bad relationship situation and somebody broke up with you, this could very well be the track that you're gonna have to play like 50 times and just cheer yourself up, because it cheers me up every time. But yeah, that's us getting to the top 3 now, and it wasn't good enough to make it there. So who is gonna be good enough? Who's gonna be good enough?
Worlds fly by, drove by your place and stopped again tonight. I know I said that I'm too scared to try.
Now, there isn't really like a sad moment on Emotion, especially with how a lot of the times, like if a pop song even like touches on it here, there's usually some sort of like catchiness or something that like really cheers you up. If there's something like really sort of like tries to channel this like really sort of just down in the dumps attitude, Gimme Love does it. And yeah, I think some people might be surprised this is in my top 3, but there's so many like great moments on it that I think maybe some people find bits like when it gets to the chorus and there's like the kind of like modulated vocals going on. I think it just kind of like adds to just how bad of a headspace this person's in. Carly herself, this is without a doubt the most like transparent, the most just fragile. I wouldn't say depressed, but like she just sounds like she's so desperate for affection, and it really does like make me feel sad when I listen to it. But also when it gets to the bridge, it's where we are together when I feel like this forever, and there's just like the kind of like the gang vocals of the whoa, and just how it all taps in. It all just it all culminates in this amazing outro where just that whole personality or character that Carly's going for on here. Like again, I don't know how much of this album's autobiographical, but it does feel like the point in this album where I was like, this all this talking we have about relationships on here is starting to like take its toll on her, and she did this again on B side with Roses, but I feel this song does it like just as good in terms of just I don't know what it is. I don't know how to really say it, but it is very much the kind of like the emotional core here of the song on this that made me feel the sort of like lowest, as opposed to how all these other songs put me in this sort of like ethereal, joyous high. So yeah, maybe a hot take to have this in my top 3, but honestly, I would feel bad not having it any higher than it is.
Listen, just leave or stay. But I'm done listening.
A really self-aware track that my only sort of like criticism I could have of it is down to something that's sort of out of its control, and especially when we're going by like a track by track review and ranking of it, and that is how it kind of like it should really fall at the tail end of the album. And I guess now that I'm thinking of it, maybe it's just a deluxe edition, which means that it's not really falling there, but regardless, like it really is kind of like it's tying up the whole sort of like romantic complaints and all that. It's the second C accredited track. Like both of the songs that she did on here were mighty good. I didn't know what to expect of them because I don't know if I'm really the biggest fan of her work, but in terms of co-written production, she does like an intro bit on this as well, which is all quite good. But yeah, there's just a lot to love about this song, whether it be the actual production and composition when it comes to the sort of the funky keyboards and that. I find, and as well as the percussion, I just find it all just so sort of, there's just some sort of like kind of like exotic flair to it. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just compared to the rest of it, it does feel like it's trying to do something a bit different. And then there's just kind of like the lyrics themselves of Carly talking about just like how she's like finally fed up with this boy that she's kind of like been mistreating like our friend, and that I think it's sort of like it's a good message, because like if you were to just kind of have like a solely sort of like lovey-dovey album and never like sort of address any sort of like issues that might come as a byproduct of it, I feel like it would be a lot flatter. But like I say, I feel like this album does a good job at points of fleshing it out, and it's just like a super fun song to me. Used to be my number 1, but then when I was like writing all this down in my bloody Google Docs thing, I was just thinking to myself, there's no other song that I can put at number 1 other than what can I say about this song that Mike the Snare didn't just do absolutely expertly in his video essay on this song. I could just repeat the same stuff without any of the music knowledge or the excellent vocab. Maybe I'll do that. But for real, I've thought about the lyrics on this album a lot, which I don't ever really think are all that much brought up, but maybe that's just because a lot of people usually talk about it just being a bop album, and to be fair, I do that as well a lot. But like for this song, the opening song, there's not really much lyrically that you can kind of like dive into. It's very much just about finding this person that you love so much that you just want to run away with them. Like it's as simple as that. But where this song utterly shines is its production and composition, and it's so it's just so beautiful. It's honestly, there's so much that you can kind of talk about and analyze when it comes to. Obviously, I've talked about the saxophone itself, the saxophone solo that begins this. It's been meme to fuck, especially with that seal vine. Like, I can't not talk about this and not mention it. But just how it opens it up in a sort of like grandiose fashion, and then just sort of like disappears. And for a long time, you're just thinking, oh, is it ever going to come back? And then when it like just finally kicks in at the chorus, oh, just what? Just iconic moment when that happens. It's just always kicking in when you're most needing it. Like when you finally click and go, oh, I miss that saxophone. It comes in and your satisfaction is just multiplied by like 100 times, and then it's the layered vocals that really shouldn't work as well as they do, but well, of course they work super well. And when that's meshed in with the saxophone, oh, that's when it just becomes like one of the best pop songs like of this decade, probably this century. I really have no qualms about being so definitive about how I feel about this song, because just how it works so well just gives me like chills every time I hear it. Like first time I heard it, I was like, whoa, like this shows that like Carly Rae Jepsen wasn't just some like one hit wonder. Like she's made the progress, she's done well, she's obviously thought about it, and there are some risks taken here. Again, go watch Mike the Snare's video, because he is a god when it comes to talking about like music theory and all that. I'll link it, or it'll pop up just now. But just the kind of risks it took on the kind of like a microscopic compositional level, it all paid off. And Carly's just going all in on it. There really isn't sort of like a weak component. People find the saxophone annoying, like, and yeah, it's not like totally organic or natural, but it is synthesized. But like, who gives a fuck when it sounds good? Like honestly, really, that's all I can say about this song. It's just one of the best pop songs ever made, as far as I'm concerned. At least in my lifetime. Carly just did good. Didn't go good. She did great. And yeah, do I feel bad that this is like my favourite song, even though it's like one of the most popular songs from it? Do I fuck? Because it's just, like I say, just so well made. And just really did sort of convert me when I first listened to it. So yeah, guys, this has been my ranking of Emotion. I would love to know what your rankings are, even if it's just like what you think your favourite song is and what your worst song is. Let me know. Carly, if you're watching this, hi. And yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. Do let me know if you like this sort of spin-off. Like, I can kind of keep doing it a bit more if you guys have enjoyed it. And yeah, thank you for watching. As I said, stay safe and stay hydrated.
You've caught me before anything has happened. We're just about to start the photo shoot. I am in a Technicolored sweater and tights. And yeah, we're just gonna play today. Put on some chill music and get ready to shoot this album. All right, bye for now.